Hello everyone, welcome back. Before we begin tonight, let the weight of the world drop away from your shoulders. There are no deadlines here. There are no expectations. There is only the quiet dark, the steady rhythm of your own breathing, and the vast, comforting silence of the imagination. Find a position that allows your body to fully relax. Let your limbs feel heavy, sinking into the mattress as if gravity has gently increased, holding you safe and secure. Unclench your jaw. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Take a deep breath in, filling your lungs with the cool, quiet air of the night, and let it out slowly, releasing the tension of the day into the ether. Tonight, we are traveling far beyond the stars we can see from our windows. We are traveling to a place that exists outside the normal flow of time, a place where the clock ticks in centuries rather than seconds. We are traveling to the home of a deity. This is the story of Lord Beerus. It is not a story of a hero rising to meet a challenge. It is not a story of a villain seeking conquest. It is the story of a force of nature. It is the story of the other side of the coin of creation. It is a story about the necessity of destruction, told through the eyes of a being who has lived for millions of years. Watching stars be born and watching them die. So, close your eyes. Let the darkness behind your eyelids expand. Imagine a nebula swirling with colors you have never seen. Deep, royal purples, vibrant teals that shimmer like water, and soft, glowing pinks that look like cotton candy spun from starlight. This is the seventh universe, but we are not on a planet. We are floating in a cosmic sea, a place of divine isolation. Suspended in this nebula is a massive, inverted pyramid. It is made of stone as old as the universe itself, etched with symbols that no mortal eyes have ever read. It floats silently, an island of solidity in a sea of gas and dust. At the flat top of this pyramid, a strange, prehistoric forest grows. The trees are twisted and gnarled, their roots wrapping around the stone like the fingers of sleeping giants. In the center of this forest stands a temple. It is an open-air structure, built to allow the starlight to filter in. The air here is cool and still. It smells of old parchment, hourglass sand, and the faint, sweet scent of exotic incense that has burned for 1,000 years. This is the home of the god of destruction, and for the last 39 years it has been a place of absolute silence. Let us walk through the stone corridors. There are no guards here. There are no servants scurrying about. There is only the soft sound of water dripping in a distant basin and the rhythmic, slow ticking of time. We arrive at the master bedroom. It is a cavernous space, carved from the living rock of the temple. There is no furniture in the traditional sense. Instead, the room is dominated by floating platforms and strange glowing orbs that provide a dim, ambient light. In the center of the room, hovering above a crater that serves as a bed, floats a sphere of purple energy. It rotates slowly, humming with a low vibration that you can feel in your chest. It is a sound like a cat purring, but magnified to the scale of a thunderstorm. Inside the sphere sleeps a figure. He is purple, feline, lean and elegant. His body is hairless, save for the tips of his large pointed ears. He wears the gold and black ornaments of his station, the thick golden collar, the armbands, the sash of blue silk that floats weightlessly around him. He is Beerus, and he is napping. For a god of destruction, sleep is not merely rest. It is a mercy to the universe. When Beerus sleeps, civilizations can grow. Planets can spin without fear. The galaxy can breathe. He has been asleep for 39 years this time. A mere blink of an eye for a being of his age, but a lifetime for the mortals scuttling about in the cosmos below. While he sleeps, the universe changes. Empires rise and fall, stars ignite and burn out. The great wheel of existence turns, lubricated by the silence of the destroyer. Sleep for Beerus is a complex thing. It is not just darkness, it is a realm where he processes the eons. In his dreams, he sees the history of the universe playing out like a theater production. He remembers the dinosaurs on Earth, creatures he had once found annoying for their rudeness, leading him to wipe them out with a lazy flick of his finger. He remembers the grand feasts held by the supreme Kais, the creators who live on the other side of the cosmic balance. He dreams of food. Food is the one passion that rivals his duty. He dreams of flavors he has never tasted, of textures that surprise him. In this deep slumber, 39 years into his nap, he is dreaming of a specific dish. It is savory, it is sweet, it is crunchy. But beneath the culinary delight, there is something else. A figure, a silhouette standing in the light, a warrior. This warrior is not like the others he has destroyed. He does not beg, he does not cower. He glows, he fights with a fire that rivals the gods themselves. Super. Beerus mumbles in his sleep, his voice a low rasp that creates ripples on the surface of his energy sphere. Super Saiyan God. A bubble of snot expands from his nose, shivering with his breath. Tss. He turns in the air, his long purple tail flicking irritably. The dream is vivid. It is persistent. It feels less like a memory and more like a premonition. Outside the bedroom, in the atrium of the temple, another figure stands. He is tall, elegant and poised. He has pale blue skin and white hair that rises in a perfect coif. A halo of blue energy floats around his neck. He holds a long staff topped with a black orb. This is Whis, the angel, the attendant, the teacher. Whis is checking the time. He stands before a massive collection of hourglasses floating in the air. These are not normal hourglasses. They measure the epochs of the universe. The sand in the primary glass is running low. The last grain falls with a silent visual thud. Oh my, Whis whispers to himself. His voice is calm, polite, and unflappable. It is time. The 39 years are up. He taps his staff on the stone floor. Click. The sound is sharp, cutting through the heavy silence of the temple. I do hope he wakes up on the right side of the bed this epoch, Whis muses, walking toward the bedroom. The last time he was grumpy, we lost 2 solar systems. It was quite a mess to clean up. Whis enters the bedroom. He navigates the air carefully. Floating around the sleeping god are alarm clocks, but these are not bells or buzzers, they are bombs. Floating, ticking, energetic bombs designed to create enough force to rouse a deity from his slumber. Whis checks his staff. Let's see. He asked to be woken up specifically for the prophecy. If I let him sleep in, he will be furious. If I wake him up and the prophecy is false, he will be furious. Being an attendant is such a delicate balance. Whis clears his throat. Lord Beerus. The figure in the bubble does not move. Lord Beerus. Whis calls a little louder. It is morning or evening. It is time. Beerus groans. He rolls over, clutching his tail like a teddy bear. 5 more years, Whis. Just 5 more. I'm afraid not, my lord, Whis says, gliding closer. You were quite specific. 39 years. The prophecy? The arch-rival? Beerus's ear twitches. The word penetrates the fog of sleep. Prophecy. 39 years ago, the oracle fish, a strange prophetic creature kept in the temple gardens, had told him a story. It spoke of a rival, a being who would appear in 39 years to challenge him. Beerus opens one eye. It is yellow, slitted and ancient. It holds the weight of 1 billion extinguished stars. He yawns, a massive, jaw-cracking yawn that exposes his sharp canine teeth. The prophecy, Beerus murmurs, his voice thick with sleep. Right. The Super Saiyan God. Did you have the dream again? Whis asks. I did, Beerus says, stretching his arms. He dispels the energy sphere around him and drops lightly to the floor. He lands with the grace of a cat, silent and sure. He was strong. He was interesting. And I am hungry. Well, breakfast is prepared, Whis says, bowing slightly. But first, perhaps a bath. You have quite a bit of temple dust on you. Bath first, Beerus agrees. Then food. Then we find this god. The bathhouse of the temple is a marvel of the universe. It is a massive pool of steaming water heated by the core of a captured star. The water smells of lavender and minerals. Beerus sinks into it, letting the heat soak into his bones. He floats on his back, his ears submerged, looking up at the stars through the open roof. He thinks about the universe he governs. It is a garden. The supreme Kais create life. They plant the seeds of civilizations. They nurture them. But a garden left untended becomes a jungle. Weeds choke the flowers. Resources run out. Life stagnates. And so Beerus destroys. He prunes the weeds. He burns the dead wood so that new life can grow from the ash. It is not evil. It is necessary. It is the balance. But lately, the balance has felt boring. Whis! Beerus calls out, his voice echoing off the tiled walls. Whis appears at the edge of the pool holding a towel and a tray of fruit. Yes, my lord? While I was asleep, Beerus asks, grabbing a strange, star-shaped fruit and biting into it. Did Frieza do what I told him to do? Regarding the Saiyans? He did, Whis confirms. In age 737, Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta. He eliminated the Saiyan race almost entirely. Beerus chews thoughtfully. Good. They were annoying. King Vegeta was a stingy host. He gave me the second best pillow when I visited, and their obsession with fighting was messy, crude. Beerus remembers the Saiyans. He remembers visiting their red, dusty world. He remembers the fear in King Vegeta's eyes. He remembers King Cold, the massive brute who ran the Empire before Frieza. Even Cold knew his place. He had warned his son, Frieza, never to challenge the Destroyer. So, the planet is dust, Beerus says, sinking lower in the water until only his eyes and nose are visible. Frieza used a supernova, I assume? He did, Whis says, tapping his staff to project an image in the steam. The world cracked. The red sky burned, and in a silent flash of white light, the Saiyan race was extinguished. Then where, Beerus asks, splashing water with his tail, is my Super Saiyan God coming from? If the Saiyans are dead, the prophecy is dead. Well, Whis says, looking at the image in the steam. Not all of them died. Survivors were scattered. Prince Vegeta survived. Nappa, Raditz, and one other, a child sent away in a pod just before the destruction. Beerus sits up, water cascading off his purple skin. A survivor? His name is Goku, Whis says. He was raised on Earth. He defeated Frieza, actually. Beerus freezes. The fruit falls from his hand into the water. He defeated Frieza? That lizard? Frieza was a mutant. He was a prodigy. He was annoying, but he was strong. A Saiyan defeated him? Indeed, Whis smiles. This Goku, he transformed. He became a Super Saiyan. Not a god, mind you, just super. Beerus steps out of the bath. Steam rises from his body. He wraps the towel around his waist. The gears in his ancient mind are turning. Super Saiyan, Beerus mutters. Super Saiyan God. It's close. It sounds similar. And he's on Earth? He is. Or at least he visits there often. He is currently training on the North Kai's planet. Earth, Beerus muses. He walks to the dressing room, where his clothes float in the air, waiting for him. That's the blue planet, the one with the mammals. I remember the food there being potential filled. He dresses slowly. First, the black pants, then the blue sash, then the golden collar heavy and cool against his neck. Finally, the ear cuff. He looks in the mirror. He bares his teeth. He looks terrifying. He looks divine. He walks out to the garden. The oracle fish is floating in its bowl, humming a tune. Fish! Beerus barks. The fish jumps. Oh, Lord Beerus, you're awake! Good morning. Or is it evening? The prophecy, Beerus says, leaning close to the glass. 39 years ago, you said a rival would appear today. A Super Saiyan God. Is it true? The fish blinks its large glassy eyes. I said that. Beerus growls. A low, dangerous sound. Don't tell me you forgot. Oh, no. The fish swims in a circle. I remember. Yes, the Super Saiyan God. He will appear today. Definitely. Beerus straightens up. Good. Because if you're lying, I will feed you to a cat. And I am the cat. He turns to Whis. We are going. To the North Kai's planet? Whis asks. It is quite a trip. About 26 minutes. We'll make it in 20, Beerus says. I want to meet this Goku. I want to see if this dream was a premonition or just indigestion. And if he isn't the Super Saiyan God? Whis asks, tapping his staff on the ground to prepare for travel. Beerus looks out at the nebula one last time. He looks at the inverted pyramid, the ancient tree, the silence of his home. He's bored. He has been bored for 1,000,000 years. The destruction has lost its flavor. The fear in mortals' eyes has become repetitive. He craves a challenge. He craves a fight that will make his blood boil again. He craves a reason to wake up, other than duty. If he isn't the Super Saiyan God, Beerus says, his voice devoid of emotion, then I will destroy him. And then I will destroy the earth. And then I will come back here and go back to sleep. With sighs. Very well. Hold on tight, my lord. The angel places a hand on the god's shoulder. There is a hum of energy, a distortion of light, and then they are gone. They streak through the cosmos, a beam of multicolored light cutting through the vacuum. They pass galaxies that spiral like spilled milk. They pass nebulae that glow like bruises on the skin of the universe. They move faster than light, faster than thought. Beerus watches the stars blur past him. He feels the anticipation rising in his chest. It is a hunger. Somewhere, out there in the vast cold dark, is a survivor. A monkey who defeated a tyrant. A biological anomaly who survived the death of his world. Is he the one? Is he the shadow from the dream? The destroyer is coming, and the universe holds its breath. Sleep well, warriors, for the god is awake and history is about to be rewritten. We drift now to the northern galaxy, past the swirling arms of the Milky Way, past the dense clusters of stars that burn with silent fury, to a place that exists on the border of the afterlife. The journey between the realm of the destroyer and the realm of the Kais is a long one, even for a beam of light. But for Whis and Beerus, it is a moment of suspended animation. Imagine the view from inside that beam of travel. The stars streak by like rain on a windshield. Galaxies appear as mere smudges of paint, gone in a heartbeat. Beerus watches the universe pass him by with half-lidded eyes. He is not impressed by the scale of it. He has seen it all before. He has seen these stars born from dust, and he has seen them collapse into white dwarfs. To him, the universe is a small room, and he knows every corner. "My lord," Whis says, his voice calm amidst the roar of light-speed travel. "We are approaching the coordinates. King Kai's planet. It feels damp," Beerus complains, though he hasn't stepped outside yet. "The afterlife always smells of ozone." "It is the density of the spirit energy," Whis explains. "We are crossing the boundary." The beam of light begins to slow. The blurring stars sharpen into points of light. And there, floating in the golden clouds of the other world, is a curiosity. Imagine a road, a snake-like road made of stone, winding endlessly through yellow clouds. It stretches for 1,000,000 miles, a ribbon of impossible length that serves as the highway for souls. At the very end of this road, floating in nothingness, is a planet. It is a very small planet, so small that you could walk around its circumference in a matter of minutes. But despite its size, it is heavy. The gravity here is intense, 10 times that of Earth, pulling everything down with a firm, unyielding grip. It is a planet that demands effort just to stand upon. This is King Kai's planet. It is a charming little world, a sphere of bright, manicured green in a sea of yellow. There is a single winding road made of cobblestones that loops around the equator. There is a small white house with a red dome roof, cozy and round. And there are a few trees, apple trees. Their branches heavy with red fruit that somehow defy the crushing gravity. The air here smells of fresh cut grass, polished car wax, and the faint metallic tang of high gravity. King Kai, the guardian of the North Galaxy, is enjoying a quiet afternoon. He is a blue-skinned deity, round and soft, wearing small black sunglasses and a black robe. 2 antennae sprout from his head, twitching with the currents of the universe. He is currently engaged in his favorite pastime, driving. He sits in a bright red convertible, a classic model that gleams under the artificial sun of the afterlife. Vroom, vroom. He drives in circles around his tiny world. It takes him less than a minute to complete a lap. He waves to his companions as he passes. Bubbles, a chimpanzee who scampers effortlessly despite the weight of the world. And Gregory, a cricket who hops with remarkable speed. It is a scene of perfect domestic tranquility, a god in retirement enjoying the simple pleasure of the wind in his face. But there is a guest on the planet today, a mortal, sitting under the shade of the largest apple tree, legs crossed in the lotus position, is a warrior. He wears a heavy orange gi with a blue undershirt, weighted clothing that adds to the already crushing gravity. His hair is black and spiky, jutting out in wild angles. He is covered in a sheen of sweat that glistens like oil. This is Goku, the survivor. The child sent away from planet Vegeta before the red sky burned. Goku is not driving a car. He is not relaxing. He is visualizing. In the theater of his mind, he is fighting. He is trading blows with shadows of the past. He remembers the cold white form of Frieza or Namek. He remembers the chaotic pink madness of Majin Buu. He replays these battles, looking for flaws in his own movements, seeking the next level of strength. He is a Saiyan. His biology is an engine that runs on conflict. To a Saiyan, stagnation is a form of death. Even in peace, his blood hums with the desire for the next wall to break. King Kai parks his car near the house. He steps out, wiping a smudge of dust from the hood with his sleeve. He looks at Goku and sighs, the sound heavy with affection and exasperation. "Goku," King Kai calls out. "You're thinking too loud. You're disturbing the grass. The worms are trying to sleep." Goku opens one eye. It is dark, clear, and innocent. He grins, a disarming expression that has charmed gods and monsters alike. "Sorry, King Kai. I'm just excited. I feel like I'm getting stronger, even without a sparring partner." "Stronger," King Kai grumbles, adjusting his sunglasses. "You defeated Frieza. You defeated Majin Buu. You are the strongest mortal in the universe. How much stronger do you need to be? The galaxy is at peace. Take a nap. Eat an apple." "I can't," Goku laughs, standing up. He stretches, his joints popping with the sound of snapping branches. "I just have this feeling, like there's someone else out there, someone I haven't met yet." King Kai shakes his head. Saiyans. No concept of retirement. Suddenly the air changes. It is not a wind. It is not a sound. It is a shift in the fundamental pressure of reality. King Kai's antennae stiffen. They stand straight up, vibrating violently. A cold sweat breaks out on his blue forehead, soaking his brow instantly. His sunglasses slide down his nose, revealing eyes wide with primal terror. He feels it. It is not a key signature in the traditional sense. It is not a power level that can be measured by a scouter. Mortal energy feels like fire or electricity. This feels like a void. It feels as though the sky of his tiny world has suddenly turned into lead, pressing down not just on his body, but on his immortal soul. It is the feeling of a predator entering a dark room. You cannot see it, but your instincts scream that you are no longer at the top of the food chain. "No," King Kai whispers, his voice trembling so hard his teeth chatter. "It can't be. Not him. Not now. He's supposed to be asleep." Goku stops stretching. He sees the panic on his mentor's face. "What's wrong?" "King Kai? Is it a bad guy? Is it Majin Buu again?" "Quiet," King Kai hisses, diving behind his red car as if the metal could protect him from a deity. "Hide! Goku, get in the house. Don't make a sound. Don't flare your ki. Don't even breathe." "Why?" Goku asks, confused. He looks up at the yellow sky, shielding his eyes. "Is someone coming?" "The destroyer," King Kai whimpers. "Lord Beerus." The yellow clouds of the afterlife part. It is not a gentle opening. It is as if the clouds are fleeing in terror. A beam of light descends. It is silent, elegant, and terrifyingly fast. It touches down on the cobblestone road. There is no explosion, there is no crater. The light simply deposits two figures and vanishes. The grass on the planet bows flat against the ground. The apple trees shiver, dropping their fruit. The gravity seems to double, not from mass, but from presence. Two figures stand there. One is tall, holding a staff, looking around with polite curiosity. The other is shorter, purple with large ears and golden eyes that gleam with ancient boredom. He holds his hands behind his back, his tail swaying lazily. Beerus has arrived. The intense gravity of the planet, which forces Goku to train constantly, seems to have no effect on him. He does not sink into the dirt. He stands lightly, as if he exists slightly apart from the physical laws of the world. "So," Beerus says, his voice a dry scratching purr, "this is the North Kai's world. It's small." "It is cozy, my lord," Whis replies, tapping his staff. "And look, apples. I believe they make a wonderful pie here." King Kai scrambles out from behind his car. He runs over, his robes flapping. He throws himself to the ground, bowing so low his nose buries itself in the dirt. He is trembling so violently that Bubbles the monkey mimics him, bowing in fear. "Lord Beerus!" King Kai stammers, his voice cracking. "What an honor! What a surprise! To what do we owe the extreme pleasure of your visit? If I had known you were waking up, I would have prepared a feast." Beerus looks down at the Kai. He looks at the car. He looks at the house. He sniffs the air, his nose twitching. "I am looking for something," Beerus says calmly. "And I am hungry. But mostly, I am looking." "Looking?" King Kai sweats. "For what, my lord?" "A Super Saiyan God," Beerus says. The words hang in the air like smoke. King Kai freezes. What?" "Don't play coy, North Kai," Beerus says, walking past him toward the apple tree. "I had a dream, a prophecy. The oracle fish confirmed it. It said a Super Saiyan God would appear today. And since you seem to be harboring the last surviving Saiyan, I assumed he was here." Beerus stops. He looks behind the tree. Goku is standing there. He isn't hiding, he is staring. Goku has never felt anything like this. He cannot sense Beerus's ki. Godly ki is undetectable to mortals, but he can feel the absence of safety. Standing near Beerus feels like standing on the edge of a cliff, with the ground crumbling beneath your feet. It is a void where power should be. "Hello," Goku says, stepping out. He raises a hand in a casual wave. "I'm Goku." King Kai shrieks internally. He tries to mentally, telepathically scream at Goku to bow, to kneel, to do anything other than be his usual casual self, but he is paralyzed by fear. Beerus looks at Goku. He circles him. He inspects him like a customer, inspecting a piece of fruit at a market. He looks at the messy black hair. He looks at the orange G. He looks at the muscles built by decades of war. "You're a Saiyan?" Beerus asks, his voice neutral. "Yeah," Goku says. "Raised on Earth." "You look like them," Beerus muses. "I remember your king, Vegeta. He had the same look. Arrogant, hairy, simple." Beerus remembers the history. He remembers the cold, sterile halls of the Cold Empire. He remembers how Frieza called them monkeys. Looking at this mortal, Beerus can see why. There is something unrefined about him. He lacks the grace of the divine. "So," Beerus says, stopping in front of Goku, "are you him? Are you the Super Saiyan God?" Goku scratches his head, confused. "Super Saiyan God? I've never heard of that. I can go Super Saiyan. I can go Super Saiyan 2 and 3. But God? No clue. Is that a thing?" Beerus sighs. His shoulders slump. The boredom returns, heavy and suffocating. The anticipation he felt during the flight evaporates. "I told you, Whis," Beerus says, turning away. The fish was lying. It was just a dream, a waste of time. Let's go destroy something on the way home to make the trip worth it. Maybe that star system over there. "Wait!" Goku steps forward. The hunger for battle overrides his survival instinct. It overrides King Kai's desperate signals. Goku looks at Beerus, and he doesn't see a destroyer. He sees a mountain he hasn't climbed yet. You look strong," Goku says. "Like, really strong. Even though I can't sense your energy." "Goku, no!" King Kai screams, finally finding his voice. "Do not challenge him! He is not a martial artist. He is a force of nature." "I want to see," Goku says, dropping into his signature fighting stance, knees bent, hands raised, a smile on his face. "If you're a god, I want to see what you can do." Beerus pauses. He looks back over his shoulder. A small smile touches his lips. It is not a nice smile. It is the smile of a cat that has just found a mouse that wants to play before it is eaten. "You want to fight me?" Beerus asks. "Just a spar," Goku says. "Please? I've never fought a god before." Beerus turns fully around. He puts his hands behind his back. He does not take a stance. He simply stands there, open, relaxed, and utterly terrifying. "Very well," Beerus purrs. "Show me this Super Saiyan power. I have a few minutes before lunch." The air on the tiny planet changes. The birds stop chirping. Gregory the cricket digs a hole and buries himself. King Kai covers his eyes. Goku doesn't hold back. He knows instinctively that holding back would be death. "Ha!" Goku screams. The ground shakes. Golden light explodes from his body. His hair stands up, turning the color of molten gold. His eyes turn teal green. His aura flares, bright and jagged. He transforms. Super Saiyan. Beerus watches, unimpressed. He taps his foot. "It glows. That's quaint. Is that all?" Not even close, Goku shouts. He pushes further. Lightning crackles around him. His hair grows longer, reaching down his back. A mane of gold. His eyebrows disappear, giving him a primal, fierce look. The pressure of his ki pushes the grass flat, creating a crater around him. Super Saiyan 3. This is the form that shook the afterlife when he first revealed it to Buu. This is the power that surpassed the limits of a warrior race. It is the pinnacle of mortal strength. Here I come, Goku shouts. He launches himself at Beerus. He moves at a speed that defies physics, tearing up the cobblestones as he moves. He throws a punch that could shatter a moon. Beerus does not move his feet. He does not raise his hands. He simply shifts. Goku's fist hits empty air. Goku spins, throwing a kick aimed at Beerus's head. Beerus leans back, the heel missing his nose by a single millimeter. It is a dance. A violent, desperate dance for Goku, and a casual stroll for Beerus. Goku is roaring, pouring every ounce of his energy into the attacks. Bam, bam, bam. He is the legacy of Bardock, the warrior who stood alone against a supernova. He is the one who defeated Frieza on Namek. He is the savior of Earth, and he cannot touch the god. Beerus yawns, a genuine bored yawn. Is this it? He asks. You're quite slow, and you leave yourself open. Goku grits his teeth. Frustration boils inside him. He pushes harder. He vanishes and reappears behind Beerus, swinging a sledgehammer blow with both hands, a strike meant to end fights instantly. Beerus raises one finger. Tap. He blocks the massive, planet-cracking strike with the tip of his fingernail. Goku freezes. His eyes widen. He is suspended in the air, his massive fist stopped cold by a manicured finger. The reality of the situation crashes down on him like a mountain. This isn't a fight. This isn't a spar. This is an execution that hasn't happened yet. You have spirit, Beerus says, his face inches from Goku's. And you have power for a mortal. But you are not a god. You lack the weight. Beerus flicks his finger. It is a tiny motion. A motion you would use to flick a speck of dust off your shoulder or a fly off your food. But the force travels through Goku's forehead, down his spine, and into his soul. Thwack! Goku's eyes roll back. The golden hair vanishes, retreating back into his scalp. The lightning fades. The aura dies. He crumples. He falls from the sky like a stone, hitting the grass with a heavy thud. He's unconscious, defeated by a flick. Silence returns to King Kai's planet. King Kai is trembling so hard he has fallen over. He looks at Goku, then at Beerus. He is terrified that the planet is next. Beerus stands over the fallen Saiyan. He looks disappointed. He looks lonely. Well, Beerus says, adjusting his golden collar. That was underwhelming. The dream was a lie. There is no Super Saiyan God here. He turns to Whis. Let's go. Where to, my lord? Whis asks. Earth, Beerus says. There are other Saiyans there, correct? The prince? Vegeta? Yes, my lord. We will check there. And if they don't know anything, Beerus looks at the small house, then up at the stars. I recall something about pudding on earth. If the prophecy is false, I will at least eat, and then I will destroy the earth. As you wish, Whis says. They tap the staff. The beam of light returns. They shoot up into the yellow sky, leaving the tiny planet and the broken warrior behind. Goku lies in the grass, breathing shallowly. He has lost. He has lost completely. But in the defeat, a seed is planted. The ceiling has been revealed. Goku now knows that there is a level beyond Super Saiyan, beyond legendary, beyond anything he ever imagined. The god of destruction is heading to Earth. The inciting incident is over. The clock has started ticking, and the world is unaware that judgment is coming from the stars. The beam of light, carrying the god and the angel, travels through the vacuum of space. To them, the journey is brief. But on Earth, time is moving at its own pace. It is a beautiful day in age 778. The sky is a brilliant, cloudless azure. The sun is warm, baking the surface of the West City Ocean. We find ourselves on a cruise ship. It is a massive, gleaming white vessel, cutting through the gentle waves. The deck is decorated with banners, balloons and tables laden with food. It is a celebration. Bulma, the brilliant scientist and heiress of Capsule Corp, is celebrating her birthday. The atmosphere is light. Laughter floats on the sea breeze. Trunks and Goten are chasing each other, their small feet pattering on the deck. Krillin is telling a joke to Android 18, who offers a rare small smile. Piccolo stands at the stern, arms crossed, looking at the horizon, pretending to be solitary but secretly enjoying the peace. And then there is Vegeta. The Prince of all Saiyans is leaning against a deck chair. He's wearing a casual shirt, looking uncomfortable in his relaxation. He's watching his family. He watches Trunks laugh. He watches Bulma holding a glass of champagne, her blue hair catching the sunlight. He is at peace, or as close to peace as a warrior like him can get. But then, his mind is interrupted. A telepathic voice screams into his skull. Vegeta, can you hear me? Vegeta flinches. He recognizes the voice. It is King Kai. But the tone is wrong. King Kai usually sounds jovial or annoyed. Today, he sounds desperate. King Kai? Vegeta mutters, touching his temple. What do you want? I'm busy. Listen to me, King Kai shouts, his voice trembling. He's coming. The god of destruction, Beerus. He is heading to Earth right now. Vegeta freezes. The name unlocks a door in his memory that he had bolted shut decades ago. Beerus. Suddenly, Vegeta is not on a cruise ship. He's a child again. He's on planet Vegeta. He is standing in the throne room of his father. The red light of the planet filters through the high windows. He remembers seeing his father, King Vegeta, the proudest, strongest man he knew, on his knees. He remembers his father's head bowed low, pressing against the cold stone floor. And standing over the king was a purple cat. The cat was eating a piece of fruit, resting his foot on the king's head, as if the ruler of the Saiyans was nothing more than a footstool. Vegeta remembers the fear. Not the fear of losing a fight, but the fear of ceasing to exist. He remembers the feeling of a power so vast it felt like the vacuum of space itself had entered the room. He defeated Goku, King Kai whispers in Vegeta's mind. 2 hits, Vegeta. Super Saiyan 3. Defeated in 2 hits. The color drains from Vegeta's face. He drops his drink. The glass shatters on the deck, the sound sharp and jarring amidst the party music. Goku, his rival, the benchmark of power. Defeated in 2 hits? He's here, Vegeta whispers. The sky above the ship darkens slightly, though there are no clouds. The seagulls stop crying. The waves seem to hush. 2 figures descend from the heavens. They do not fly. They drift, as if gravity is a suggestion they are choosing to follow. Beerus lands on the deck. Whis lands beside him. The party stops. The music seems to fade into the background. The Z fighters, Piccolo, Tien, Yamcha, sense nothing. They cannot feel the god's ki. They only see a catman and a tall blue attendant. "Hey!" a drunk guest shouts. "Who invited the cosplayers?" Vegeta moves. He moves faster than he has ever moved in battle. He is not moving to attack. He is moving to intercept. He slides in front of Beerus. He throws himself into a bow. He is shaking. The Prince of Saiyans, who refused to bow to Frieza, who spat in the face of Majin Buu, is bowing to this small purple being. "Lord Beerus," Vegeta stammers, sweat pouring down his face. "Welcome. We are honored by your presence." Beerus looks at Vegeta. He blinks his golden eyes. "Oh, you, the little prince. You've grown." Beerus sniffs the air. He ignores Vegeta's terror. He is focused on one thing. "I smell food," Beerus says. "Yes," Vegeta yells too loud. "Food. We have food. The best food. Please, my lord, take anything you want. Just please enjoy yourself." This is the struggle. It is not a struggle of fists. It is a struggle of dignity. Vegeta knows that if Beerus sneezes, the earth is gone. If Beerus gets annoyed, Trunks is dead. If Beerus is bored, Bulma is dust. And so, Vegeta casts aside his pride. He becomes a servant. He leads Beerus to the buffet. He recommends the octopus balls, takoyaki. He watches, terrified, as Beerus picks up a skewer. Beerus inspects the food. He sniffs it. He takes a bite. Vegeta holds his breath. The world holds its breath. "It's hot," Beerus says. He chews. "And savory. The texture is acceptable. Tasty even." Vegeta exhales. He feels lightheaded. For an hour, the party balances on the edge of a knife. Beerus mingles. He eats sushi. He tries the desserts. Whis is delighted, sampling everything, marveling at the culinary richness of Earth. The Z fighters watch, confused. They see Vegeta sweating, running around, fetching napkins, yelling at the band to play better. They have never seen him like this. "What's wrong with Vegeta?" Krillin whispers. "He's acting like a waiter." "He's terrified," Piccolo says, his ears twitching. "I can't sense that cat's energy, but my instincts are screaming at me to run." The disaster happens, as disasters often do, over something small. Pudding. Beerus and Whis wander over to Majin Buu. Buu, the reformed pink monster, is sitting at a table with a massive pile of pudding cups. Beerus looks at the pudding. It is yellow, shiny, and wobbles delightfully. "That looks delicious," Beerus says. "Give me one." Buu looks at Beerus. Buu looks at the pudding. Buu licks all of the cups. "No," Buu says. "All for Buu." "I just want one," Beerus says, his voice dropping an octave. The temperature on the ship drops 10 degrees. "No!" Buu shouts. "You go away! Buu's pudding!" Vegeta sees it happening from across the deck. It is like watching a car crash in slow motion. "Buu! Give him the pudding!" Vegeta screams, diving forward. But he is too late. Buu attacks. He throws a punch. Beerus sighs. "I have lived for millions of years," he says softly, "and I have never been denied a pudding." Beerus grabs Buu's fist. He spins the massive pink monster around and slams him into the ocean. A massive geyser of water erupts. The party is over. The struggle shifts from social to physical. The sea fighters react. They are warriors. When they see a threat, they attack. Tien Shin Han flies in, firing a tri-beam. Beerus blows it away with a breath. Piccolo attacks. Beerus pokes him in the chest with chopsticks. Piccolo falls unconscious. Android 18 charges. Beerus dodges her blow and gently pushes her aside with his elbow. She crashes into the deck. It is a dreamlike sequence of violence. There is no impact, no struggle. It is just Beerus moving through them like a ghost. He is untouched. He is unbothered. He is bored. "Is this it?" Beerus asks, floating above the deck. "Is this the Earth's defense? Where is the Super Saiyan God?" Vegeta stands alone on the deck. He is shaking. His worst nightmare has come true. The footstool is back. "Lord Beerus," Vegeta whispers. "Please." Beerus looks at him. "You know, Prince, you are disappointing. Your father was weak. You are weak. And this planet is annoying me." Beerus raises a hand. Purple energy begins to gather in his palm. It is the energy of destruction. Pure. Final. Bulma walks forward. She is tipsy. She is angry. She is the richest woman on earth, and this is her party. "Hey!" Bulma shouts. She walks right up to the god of destruction. Vegeta's eyes go wide. "Bulma! No! You ruined my birthday!" Bulma yells. She slaps Beerus. Smack! The sound echoes across the silent ocean. Beerus blinks. He touches his cheek. He looks at this mortal woman. He is not hurt. He is not even really surprised. He is just done. Rude, Beerus says. He backhands her. It is a casual motion, but it sends Bulma flying. She crashes into a table of food. She lies there, still. Time stops for Vegeta. He looks at his wife. He sees the bruise forming on her cheek. Something inside the prince snaps. The fear evaporates. The memories of his father, the trauma of his childhood, the logic of power levels. It all burns away in a fire of pure, unadulterated rage. It is not the cold rage of a warrior. It is the hot, desperate rage of a husband. You, Vegeta whispers. The ship begins to shake. The ocean waves churn violently. The glass in the windows shatters. You hit my Bulma! Vegeta screams. A pillar of energy erupts from him. It is not gold. It is a furious, blinding violet red. It shoots into the sky, piercing the clouds. Vegeta transforms, Super Saiyan 2. But it is different. It is overflowing. It is stronger than Goku, stronger than logic. Beerus looks surprised. Oh? Vegeta launches himself at the god. For the first time since his awakening, Beerus is forced to defend himself. Vegeta punches Beerus in the face. The impact sends shockwaves through the air. Beerus flies backward. Vegeta follows. He is a blur of violence. He hammers Beerus into the ocean. He blasts him into the sky. He fires a Gallic gun that lights up the entire hemisphere. For 30 seconds, the Prince of Saiyans surpasses the gods. He fights not for pride, but for love. He fights with a desperation that transcends his limits. He finishes with a massive punch, driving Beerus deep into the water. Vegeta stands in the air, panting. His energy is spent. His rage cools, leaving him empty and exhausted. He waits. From the water, a figure rises. Beerus is completely unharmed. There is not a scratch on him. He floats up to Vegeta, wiping a drop of water from his shoulder. That, Beerus says, was interesting. Vegeta's shoulders slump. The hopelessness returns. He gave everything. He gave his heart, his soul, his rage. And it wasn't enough. I am finished, Vegeta whispers. He closes his eyes, waiting for death. Beerus hovers in front of him. You are certainly more interesting than the other one, the Goku character. You actually hit me. Beerus looks down at the ship, at the terrified guests, at Bulma, who is waking up, rubbing her cheek. But, Beerus says, his voice hardening, I am still hungry. I am still annoyed. And there is still no Super Saiyan God. He raises his hand high into the air. A massive sphere of energy forms. It looks like a sun. It is orange and yellow and terrifying. It is an attack meant to vaporize the planet. It seems the dream was a lie, Beerus says. Goodbye, Earth. The pudding was regrettable. Vegeta floats there, helpless. He looks down at his wife one last time. He looks at Trunks. I'm sorry, Vegeta thinks. I couldn't stop him. The sphere descends. The heat begins to bake the air. The struggle is over. The destruction has begun. But just as the end seems inevitable, a voice calls out from the sky, "Wait!" It is a desperate shout. Beerus pauses. He holds the sphere in place. He looks up. Goku has returned. He is breathless. He is battered from his earlier defeat, but he is there. "Lord Beerus," Goku shouts, "wait! Don't destroy the earth yet. I think I know how to find the Super Saiyan God." Beerus tilts his head. The sphere of destruction hovers, a guillotine blade paused mid-drop. "You have my attention," Beerus says, "but be warned. My patience is thinner than this atmosphere. The struggle has ended, but the test is just beginning." The cruise ship bobs gently on the ocean, a tiny speck of white against the deep blue. But the attention of the cosmos is focused on the deck. Goku stands before the god of destruction. He is out of breath. He is desperate. The massive sphere of orange energy, the attack meant to vaporize the earth, hangs above them like a second sun, radiating a heat that curls the paint on the ship's hull. "I can find the Super Saiyan God," Goku says, his voice trembling with hope. I need the Dragon Balls." Beerus looks at the sphere of destruction. He looks at Goku. He flicks his finger and the massive sun of energy vanishes. It disperses into sparkles of light that drift down like snow. "You have 5 minutes, Beerus says. "Do not bore me." The Dragon Balls are gathered. They are placed on the deck. These 7 orange orbs, pulsating with a faint, rhythmic light, are the hope of the planet. "Arise, Shenron!" Goku shouts. The sky darkens. It does not turn gray with storm clouds. It turns a deep, velvety black, blotting out the sun. Thunder rumbles, deep and resonant, shaking the ocean. A beam of golden lightning erupts from the orbs, twisting and turning until it forms the massive, serpentine body of the eternal dragon. Shenron towers over the ship, his green scales shimmering, his red eyes glowing with ancient magic. "I am the eternal dragon," Shenron booms, his voice vibrating in the chests of everyone present. "Speak your wish." "Shenron!" Goku calls out. "We need you to bring the Super Saiyan God here, or tell us how to make one." Shenron pauses. The dragon looks down. He sees the purple cat standing on the deck, eating a strawberry. For the first time in recorded history, the dragon sweats. Lord Beerus," Shenron stammers, his booming voice shrinking into a terrified whisper. I did not know you were present." "The wish, dragon," Beerus says, not looking up. "Hurry up, my ice cream is melting." "Yes, of course," Shenron says. The Super Saiyan God. It is not a person. It is a transformation, a legend from the ancient Saiyan texts. It is written, "When 5 Saiyans with righteous hearts join hands and pour their spirit into a 6th, he shall become a god." Shenron imparts the knowledge and then vanishes, fleeing back into the orbs as quickly as possible. The sky returns to blue. The silence returns. 5 Saiyans, Goku mutters, pouring their spirit into a 6th. They do the math. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, Goten. That's only 5, Goku says. We're 1 short. The hope deflates. The math of survival doesn't add up. Beerus sighs, wiping his mouth with a napkin. Well, it was a valiant effort. Mathematics is a harsh mistress. Goodbye, Earth. But there is one more. Videl, Gohan's wife, steps forward. She blushes, her hand resting instinctively on her stomach. Wait, she says softly. There is one more. I'm pregnant. There is a Saiyan baby in here. A silence falls over the ship. A new life. A spark of the future, hidden and waiting. It might work, Gohan says, smiling. They gather in a circle. Goku stands in the center. Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, Goten, and Videl surround him. They hold hands. They close their eyes. It begins not with a roar, but with a hum. Imagine a sound that is felt rather than heard. A vibration that starts in the soles of their feet and rises up. They focus their energy. They think of their love for this world. They think of the peace they want to protect. A blue light surrounds them. It is soft, fluid, like water. It flows from Vegeta, from Gohan, from the children, from the unborn life within Videl. It flows into Goku. Beerus watches from a deck chair. He stops eating. He leans forward. His golden eyes narrow. This feeling, Beerus whispers. Goku begins to float. The sky changes again. The clouds swirl rapidly, forming a vortex above the ship. The ocean churns, but it is not violent. It feels holy. Goku's body is enveloped in the blue light. But then the color shifts. It turns red. Not the angry red of a laser, but the deep, rich red of a burning ember. The red of the sun at dawn. The red of lifeblood. The heavy muscles Goku carries, the armor of his mortal strength, seem to melt away. His body slims down. He looks younger. His spiky black hair softens, turning a vibrant magenta. His eyes, usually dark, turn a piercing clear red. The light fades. Goku descends to the deck. He lands silently. There is no shockwave. There is no crater. He stands there, looking at his hands. He looks simple. He looks calm. The Z-fighters are confused. I can't sense him, Krillin whispers. His ki, it's gone. Is he powerless? Beerus stands up. He walks over to Goku. He smiles. It is a genuine smile, one of anticipation. You can't sense him, Beerus explains to the mortals, because mortals cannot sense the presence of a god. He has ascended. Goku clenches his fist. He looks at Beerus. I feel Weird, Goku says. I don't feel stronger. Feel vast. Shall we test it? Beerus asks. Goku nods. They float up. They leave the ship behind. They rise higher past the seagulls, past the clouds. They stop in the stratosphere, where the air is thin and the sky turns from blue to the black of space. Show me, Beerus says. Goku charges. He moves. To the people on the ship, they simply vanish. Boom! A shockwave rings out across the entire planet. It is not a sound of destruction. It is the sound of two universes colliding. Goku punches, Beerus blocks. The impact is different. When Goku fought as a Super Saiyan 3, his punches were heavy, like boulders. Now, his punches feel like fire. They are sharp. They burn. Beerus catches Goku's fist. Better, the god purrs. Much better. They fight. It is a ballet of violence performed at the edge of the world. They fly through the clouds, parting them like the Red Sea. They dive into the ocean, creating canyons of water that stand open for seconds before collapsing. They fly up, higher and higher, until the earth is a curved blue horizon beneath them. They are in space. The silence here is absolute. There is no wind to carry the sound of their blows. There is only the vibration of their energy. Goku struggles to control the power. It is slippery. It is wild. He fires a Kamehameha, a massive beam of red light. Beerus deflects it with a slap. The beam travels into deep space, hitting a distant asteroid belt, vaporizing rocks that have existed for billions of years. Is that all? Beerus asks, hovering in the void. I'm still using a fraction of my power, Saiyan. Goku breathes hard. In the vacuum of space, he shouldn't be able to breathe, but the god form sustains him. He feels the limits of his body stretching. I'm just getting started, Goku yells. He pushes. He dives deep into the new reservoir of power. They clash again. Fist meets fist. Ripple. A shockwave expands from their impact point. But it is not a normal shockwave. It travels through the vacuum. It ripples through the fabric of reality. On the sacred world of the Kais, far removed from the physical universe, the Elder Kai looks up in terror. Stop, the Elder Kai screams. If they hit each other like that again, the universe will crumble. The vibrations are destroying the fabric of existence. Goku and Beerus do not hear him. They are lost in the rhythm of the fight. Strike, block, counter. With every clash, the universe groans. Distant stars flicker. Planets light years away shake on their axis. Beerus is laughing. For the first time in millions of years, he is truly, genuinely having fun. He is not just a destroyer. He is a warrior. He feels the heat of Goku's spirit, burning bright and stubborn against the cold infinite. Yes! Beerus shouts, his voice carried by ki. More! Show me more! Goku is learning. He is adapting. He realizes that if he meets Beerus's force perfectly, matching the angle, the speed, the density, he can cancel out the shockwaves. He begins to nullify the destruction as he creates it. He is becoming a master in the middle of the war. But the form is temporary. It is a borrowed magic. Goku feels the red fire flickering. His time is running out. Beerus senses it too. The party is ending, Beerus says. Let us finish this. Beerus raises his hands. He summons the energy of destruction. It is a massive purple sphere, darker than the void of space. It is the sphere of destruction. It is heavy with the concept of the end. He throws it. The sphere descends toward Goku. Behind Goku is the earth. If he dodges, his home dies. Goku catches it. His hands burn. The red aura flares, screaming against the purple darkness. He pushes back. He strains. His muscles tear. His bones creak. Give up, Beerus says softly. You are immortal. You have touched the domain of the gods. And that is enough. You can rest now. No, Goku grunts. The sphere pushes him down. He enters the atmosphere. The heat of re-entry mixes with the heat of the attack. He is burning up. The red light fades. The Super Saiyan God form vanishes. Goku returns to his normal black-haired state. He is just a man pushing against the apocalypse. I won't let you, Goku screams. And in that moment of absolute failure, in that moment where the tank is empty, something happens. He doesn't transform back into a god. He doesn't need to. The experience of the god form has burned itself into his cells. His body remembers the feeling. He absorbs the power. He makes it his own. With a roar that shakes the heavens, Goku, in his base form, punches the sphere of destruction. He doesn't just push it back. He breaks it. The sphere shatters into millions of purple sparkles, raining down over the earth like fireworks. Goku floats there, exhausted. He is empty. He has nothing left. Beerus floats down to him. The god looks at the mortal. There is no anger in his eyes. There is only respect. You absorbed it, Beerus says, sounding impressed. The power of the god. You made it yours. You truly are a prodigy. Goku smiles weakly. Did I win? Beerus chuckles. Win? No. You are strong, Goku. You are the second strongest fighter I have ever faced. Second? Goku asks, his eyes drooping. Yes, Beerus lies. But the universe is a big place. Goku nods. His eyes close. He falls. Gravity takes him. He falls from the stratosphere, tumbling through the clouds, a leaf returning to the earth. He does not fear the fall. He feels the wind rushing past him. He feels the peace of total exhaustion. He has given everything. He has touched the ceiling of the universe and he found it was higher than he thought. Beerus watches him fall. Whiz, Beerus says. Yes, my lord? The angel appears beside him. I am tired, Beerus says. And I am satisfied. The dream was true. The rival exists. Beerus dives. He catches Goku gently by the shirt just before he hits the ocean. He carries the unconscious warrior back to the ship. He lays him down on a deck chair. The Z fighters rush forward, weapons drawn, terrified. Beerus raises a hand. "Peace," he says. He looks at the group. He looks at Vegeta, who is holding Bulma. "The fight is over," Beerus says. "Goku lost." Vegeta steps forward, swallowing his pride. "And the Earth?" Beerus looks at a rock floating near the ship. He points a finger. "I promised to destroy the Earth if I won." He fires a blast. Pew! The rock vaporizes. Beerus yawns, stretching his arms. "Oh dear, it seems I missed. I am so clumsy when I am tired. I suppose I have no energy left to destroy the planet. What a shame." He looks at Whis. "We are going home, Whis. I need a nap. And bring some of that pudding." "Of course, my lord," Whis smiles. They rise into the air. A beam of multicolored light surrounds them. "Train hard," Beerus calls down to the stunned silence of the party. "I will wake up again. And when I do, try to be stronger." The light shoots up into the cosmos, vanishing into the dark. The pressure lifts. The sky turns a gentle twilight blue. The ocean calms. Goku sleeps on the deck chair, a smile on his face. The climax is over. The God has come. He has tested them, and he has left them alive. The universe is safe, but it is different. The door to the divine has been opened, and it can never be closed again. On Earth, the sky has returned to a deep twilight purple. The stars are beginning to poke through the atmosphere, one by one, blinking down at the cruise ship floating on the calm ocean. The Z fighters stand on the deck, looking up. They are watching the spot where the multicolored beam of light vanished into the heavens. The terror is gone, replaced by a strange, hollow exhaustion. They have survived. But the world feels different now, smaller. Goku lies on the deck chair, his chest rising and falling in a slow rhythm. He is awake. He stares up at the stars, his dark eyes reflecting the infinite above. "He was strong," Goku whispers, his voice raspy. "He was so strong." Vegeta stands by the railing, looking out at the dark water. His arms are crossed. He is not looking at the stars. He is looking inward. He remembers the feeling of hitting Beerus. He remembers the moment his rage eclipsed his fear. For a few seconds, he had surpassed Kakarot. He had touched the divine. "We are not done," Vegeta mutters to himself. "This is not the ceiling. It is just the next step." Bulma walks over to Beerus's empty chair. There is a napkin left behind. She picks it up. She touches her cheek where the god had slapped her. It doesn't hurt anymore. "Well," Bulma sighs, looking at her ruined birthday party. "At least he liked the pudding. Next time, I'll have to order more." The party resumes, but it is subdued. The music is softer. The laughter is quieter. They eat, they drink, but their minds are elsewhere. They have looked into the face of destruction, and they have seen that it has a face. They have seen that it can be reasoned with, fed, and even entertained. They realize that they are not the masters of the universe. They are merely tenants. And the landlord has just stopped by for an inspection. Far away, in the slipstream of faster-than-light travel, Beerus and Whis are flying home. The tunnel of light wraps around them, a kaleidoscope of colors rushing past. Beerus is lying back in the air, floating comfortably. He holds a bento box, a parting gift from the terrified chefs of the cruise ship. He picks up a piece of sushi with his chopsticks. He examines it. "This wasabi," Beerus says, sniffing the green paste. "It is sharp. It clears the sinuses." "Be careful, my lord," Whis warns, his staff glowing softly. "It is potent." Beerus eats it. His eyes water. He coughs. Steam shoots out of his ears. "It burns," Beerus gasps, grabbing a drink. "But it is addictive." "Earth is a strange place, Whis. Dangerous food. Dangerous mortals." "You seem to enjoy yourself," Whis notes, a small smile playing on his lips. "You didn't destroy the planet." "I was tired," Beerus lies, wiping his mouth. "And the Saiyan, Goku. He was amusing. He absorbed the god power. He didn't just borrow it. He made it his own. That takes a special kind of stubbornness." "He is a prodigy," Whis agrees. "And Vegeta? He has potential as well. Perhaps even destroyer potential." Beerus grunts. "Don't get ahead of yourself. They are still fledglings. They barely scratched me." Beerus looks out at the passing galaxies. He thinks about the fight. He thinks about the red aura of the Super Saiyan God. It wasn't the fight of the century. He had held back a massive amount of his power. He had lied to Goku about using 100% of his strength to motivate the mortal, but it was the spark. The prophecy was true, Beerus admits softly. The rival exists. He isn't ready yet, but one day, he might actually make me sweat. "And what of the other universes?" Whis asks. "Let them sleep," Beerus says. "I have found my entertainment here." They arrive at the temple. The beam of light descends through the nebula, touching down on the inverted pyramid. The ancient tree stands silent, its roots twisting around the stone. The hourglasses are still ticking. The air is cool and smells of old stone and incense. It is a sharp contrast to the humid, salty air of Earth. Beerus lands on the terrace. He stretches, his back popping. He walks to the garden. The oracle fish is floating in its bowl. "Welcome back," the fish chirps. "Did you find him? Did you find the rival?" Beerus leans close to the bowl. His golden eyes narrow. "I did. You were right, fish. For once." "I knew it." The fish swims in a happy circle. "I am never wrong." "You're annoying," Beerus says, "but accurate." Beerus walks into the temple. He walks past the floating alarms. He walks past the bathhouse. He enters his bedroom. The floating bed awaits him. The sphere of purple energy is dormant, waiting to be rekindled. Beerus takes off his golden collar. He floats up to the bed. He curls up, wrapping his tail around his nose. "Whiz!" Beerus murmurs, his eyes closing. "Yes, my lord?" "Wake me up if something interesting happens, or if they invent a better pizza." "Of course." "And Whiz?" "Yes?" "Don't let Frieza come back. If he does, tell the Saiyans to handle it. It's their mess now." "As you wish." Beerus drifts off. His breathing slows. The sphere of energy ignites, humming with a low, comforting vibration. Zzz. A snot bubble forms. The god of destruction sleeps. But his awakening has changed everything. On Earth, the legacy of this day begins to take root. Goku does not go back to farming radishes. He trains. He knows now that Super Saiyan 3 is not the limit. He knows there is a realm of God Ki, a power that is calm, internal and vastly superior to the leaking rage of the golden forms. He seeks out Whis. He begs for training. He learns to keep his ki inside, to stop it from overflowing. He learns to move without thinking. Vegeta follows. He refuses to be left behind. He trains with a fervor that borders on madness. He skips the ritual. He achieves the power of the gods through sheer brute force of will. He learns to tap into that divine energy, turning his hair not red but blue. Super Saiyan Blue. The events of this day ripple outward. Because Beerus spared Earth, Frieza will eventually return, resurrected by his loyalists, but he will find two Saiyans who have touched the domain of the gods, ready to send him back to hell. Because Beerus woke up, the connection between the universes will be revealed. They will learn of Universe 6. They will meet Champa, Beerus' brother. They will meet Hit, the assassin. They will meet the Saiyans of Sadala. Because Beerus sought a rival, the tournament of power will eventually be held. The survival of all existence will hang in the balance, and it will be Goku, the mortal Beerus tested, who stands as the last defense against the void. It all started with a nap. It all started with a dream. It all started with a pudding cup. The universe is a tapestry, woven from threads of destruction and creation. Beerus is the needle that pulls the thread tight. He is not a villain. He is the pressure that creates diamonds. Without the fear of Beerus, Goku and Vegeta would have stagnated. They would have remained big fish in a small pond. Beerus showed them the ocean. He showed them that there are monsters in the deep, and that to survive, they must become leviathans themselves. The temple is quiet now. Whis stands on the terrace, looking out at the nebula. He taps his staff. He watches Earth from afar. "Grow strong, little seedlings," Whis whispers. "The garden is vast, and the winter is coming." The image fades. The bright colors of the nebula dissolve into a soft, comforting gray. The sound of the battles, the roars, the energy blasts, they are all gone. There is only silence, You are back in your room. You are safe. You are warm. The story of the god of destruction has ended for now. The cycle is complete. The sleeper has returned to his slumber. Let the lessons of the story settle in your mind. Strength is not just about hitting hard. It is about resilience. It is about adaptability. It is about finding the humor in the face of the impossible, like a birthday party in the presence of a god. And rest is not weakness. Rest is part of the cycle. Even gods need to sleep. Even the universe needs to close its eyes. Feel the heaviness in your limbs. It is a good heaviness. It is the feeling of a journey completed. Let your breath become slow and rhythmic, matching the hum of the sleeping god. In and out. In and out. There are no more threats. The earth is safe. The dragon has returned to his slumber. The heroes are resting. And now it is your turn. Let go of the narrative. Let go of the names. Let go of the logic. Drift into the quiet dark. Good night, warriors. Good night.